Edge, Monday, February the 13th. My name is Sean Carrier. Thank you for being with us. We closed the weekend very strongly last night with the Sacramento Kings getting it done at home and Jordan Spieth coming through at the AT&T Pebble Beach. Our four-pack that we posted on Twitter actually ended up finishing first, third, fourth, and 14th. So be sure to check the Twitter page for more great golf picks, some other NBA picks, and we also have some great betting tools up there on the site. So definitely be sure to check us out there. And I actually might try to throw up a short golf video for this week's Genesis tournament. But that's not what we're here for today. Today's purpose is some more NBA winners. And we've got a pair of picks that we actually really like today. So let's dive right into it. The association tonight, our first play will be the New Orleans Pelicans at the Phoenix Suns. And I know yesterday's video, we had a bunch of reasons why the Pelicans might be struggling right now. But this line, I think is just a little bit of a weak line. I think we can exploit some things here. I think they're a little bit off on today's line in this game. So it's not so much a play on the Pelicans. It's a play against this line and also a play a little bit against this Phoenix Suns team, who was last in the Western Conference and favored. Actually opened at 3.5 points for the home Suns. The Suns should not be favored by 3.5 points against anybody in the league, back to back or not. So let's see what we've got here. As I said, the line opened at 3.5 and quickly got bet down all the way to 2 points, and then got bet up a little bit back to 2.5 points. And we actually see that 60% of the public is on Phoenix. So it makes you scratch your head a little bit as to why the line has moved towards New Orleans. But usually when we see that, it's a case of the sharps betting lots of money on the Pelicans here in this case, and the squares betting on the Suns. So when the sharps bet money, they're going to have bigger bets that are going to move the lines. Whereas when the public are betting a team, it's usually lots of smaller bets, and it's harder to move the line. It would take a lot of bets, a lot of small bets as opposed to just a few large bets to move a line. So that's what we're seeing here today. I think a sharp square divide, and I do believe the sharps are siding with the Pelicans here on this one, and I see some reasons why. These two teams have actually played 3 times this year, all of them being very close games, 2 OT games actually, and the last of those games being just a week ago on the 6th of this month. That game was in New Orleans, and the Pelicans took it 111-106. So as I stated earlier, this line just seems a little bit off to me. As you can see right here, the line for that game a week ago, the Suns were getting 6 points, and now have to cover 3.5. That's a 9.5 point swing. And the only two things that we can consider that would move the line here that much is the Suns are at home now as opposed to a road game, and the Pelicans are coming off a back-to-back. Now the question you have to ask yourself is, do those two things amount to a 9-point line move? And in my opinion, it does not. So that's one of the major reasons we think this line is a little weak. And there are some other things also. So looking at the Pelicans' schedule here, as we stated yesterday, they're not in a great spot. They played a ton of road games early on in this month. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be their 6th road game in about a 14-day stretch. Playing lots of games in lots of cities. So that's a strike against them. But things are not much better for the Phoenix Suns. And sorry, also just to highlight, just to make sure everybody is aware, Pelicans coming off a back-to-back. They played last night in Sacramento and fell to the Kings 105-99. But we think they're going to get it done tonight, and here's why. The Suns, this will be their 3rd game in 4 nights. They played on the 10th and 11th, a set of back-to-backs. One day's rest here for a home game. But if you just look a little further, starting on the 3rd of February, this will be their 7th game in 11 nights. That's a ton of games and not a lot of nights. And a court change in absolutely every single one of them. They went from Phoenix to Sacramento, back home to Phoenix, to New Orleans, to Memphis, back home to Phoenix, out to Houston, back home to Phoenix for tonight's affair against the Pelicans. So lots of games in lots of cities, and this Phoenix Suns team is not very good when they don't have all of these things working against them. And now they do. You can definitely tell that they're wearing down a little bit. In their last game here in Houston, Coach Earl Watson actually decided to leave Eric Bledsoe and Tyson Chandler at home to rest. So definitely that move felt like a coach that saw his team getting a little tired. And their record reflects it. They've only won 2 games in their last 10 here, and they just haven't won very many games this year at all. They're not a very good basketball team, last in the Western Conference. So anytime you can bet against a team like that that's favored, it's usually a good thing. Referees for tonight's affair, we've got Matt Boland, Mark Davis, and Ben Taylor. I don't mind any of those gentlemen. Will not be skewing today's action. Something I'd like to highlight here in today's the rest for these teams. New Orleans, as we stated earlier, playing a back-to-back. They're 3-7 on the second night of a back-to-back, which is not atrocious, especially when you compare it against their overall record. That's right at about 40%, and that's right at about where the Pelicans' overall record is. And their average points for is only a point less, and average points against only about 2.5 points more that they're giving up. So they're a little bit worse, without a doubt, on a back-to-back, but it's not that much. It's a few points, a point or two either way. I believe that they've baked about 3 points into this line for New Orleans coming off a back-to-back. Phoenix on their one-day rest, 12-23. It's not very good. They're not a very good team, and these numbers are about their average for the season. So getting down to the injuries is another boost that I think we're going to get here with the Pelicans. Pelicans last night played without Ajinça. Terrence Jones did not play, nor did E'Twaun Moore. And Buddy Hield actually got ejected in the second quarter. So he did not play a lot of basketball whatsoever. So they could quite possibly be getting, you could argue, 4 players in their lineup that did not play in last night's match. So that could definitely give a team on a back-to-back a boost. And we're going to bank on that today. The Phoenix Suns have Tyson Chandler here listed as questionable. From the extra digging I've done online, it seems quite probable that Tyson is going to play today. So I fully expect him to be in the lineup. So not a great thing for us, but Suns aren't great with him. Without him, they're just not a good basketball team. So just to pull up the little infographic, just to see what we've got going on here. The Suns do hold a slight edge in offense, 2 points. The Pelicans have about a 5-point edge in defense per 100 possessions and shoot a better field goal percentage. Points per shot is the same for these two teams, and the Suns should enjoy a rebounding edge out there tonight, and the Pelicans should have that turnover edge, taking better care of the basketball. With these little stat graphics here that I do them for just about every game for the last 3 months of this NBA season, and just charting the numbers. I've found that teams that hold a defensive edge and a field goal percentage edge win 69% of the time. So now that only does go back 3 months and only pertinent to this year, obviously, but that's something that I think should bode well for this Pelicans team. So pick one, take the points with the New Orleans Pelicans, and that should work out fairly well for us. So put that one on the board. New Orleans Pelicans. It's currently sitting at plus 2.5 points, and that is our first pick. We've got one more pick that we're going to try to squeeze in here in this video, and so we're not gonna take too much time on it. But the last game of the night here, the Atlanta Hawks are visiting the Portland Trailblazers, and we like the Hawks, and there's a few reasons why. We'll hit the stat graphic first. We actually have worked this game out as the Hawks winning 106-105. It's just based on their averages. Something I just thought was quite interesting.